Howdy do, Rangeroos, and welcome to another episode of Building Stuff with Bach. I hope you're having a great day. We are going to use this video to assemble our pegboard toy. Now, assembly is a slightly different animal than what you're used to. We are going to be using something called constraints, and by the time you're done, these pieces will move in and out just like this, but the end pieces are going to be stuck there. Now, it's important that you learn a few phrases. First is mate. When you have a piece inserted into another piece, that is using a mate. When you have two pieces which are even across the front, that's called a flush. If you don't understand that now, don't worry, we'll get to it in just a little while. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, normally, you're used to file, new, and part. That is not what we're going to be doing this time. This time, we are going to file, new, and assembly, because whenever you have different parts and they need to go together, you assemble them. Just like, if I said something like, Rangeroos, assemble! You would know what that means. Okay, so file, new, assembly. Now, the first thing that we need to do is place, because placing a component is bringing one of our parts that we've already designed and putting them in this screen in order to do this. So we are going to place component, and I am going to find, let's see, my base. So let me zoom out. I'm going to put my base. So I click it right there. Now, I can do some fun things with this. If I right-click on it, I can have free rotate. So I can spin this all around. I want to orient it sort of like that, right there, like it would actually go in real space. Now, place, and I am going to find my side. And I'm going to put a side over there and a side over here. Now, the reason that I showed you being able to spin this one is we also want to spin these sides. So right-click, free rotate, and we want to adjust it so that it kind of looks like the way that it goes together. It's going to make your job a heck of a lot easier. Click OK, right-click, free rotate, right-click, free rotate, and what you didn't hear me do, I hit the escape key a couple times. When you're doing stuff, the escape key is sort of your best friend. You can just hit that a few times if you ever need to clear something out. Okay, so we've got this pretty much done. Now we can also use our free orbit because we're going to have to move this assembly around. So let me show you again. The difference, right-click, free rotate. I can move the stuff individually. Right-click, OK. Right-click the orbit right here, and I can move the entire assembly. So the first thing that I want to do is make this stuff flush across the front. So this edge, and this edge all have to be flush. So I'm going to click on Constrain right here, and you'll see Mate or Flush. I'm going to click Flush, click the front of this. Do you see the little green arrow that came out? So click the front of this, and I want it to be flush with this part. So I click the front of that. Did you see that? Watch this again. Constrain, Flush, front of this. See the green arrow, front of this, and you can see that it clicked right there. Now click Apply. Those two pieces are flush. They might not be touching yet, but they are in the same line. Same thing, flush, this piece, the front, and this piece. Did you see that? Watch again. Constrain, flush, front, front. Click on Apply. So you're probably thinking, no, that's not right. But if I rotate this on around, look, they're all in a straight line now. Okay? Now I have to insert this end into that channel. So this is going to be a little bit more confusing. So I'm going to use the constraint tool, and I'm going to click Mate. The first thing that I'm going to do is click the bottom of the groove. Okay? Now I'm going to rotate this around, and I am going to click the end right there. Watch again. Constrain, Mate, end of this, rotate it around, right click OK, end of that, and click on Apply. So if I get rid of this and zoom out, you can see that it goes in there. However, you're also going to notice that there's a gap right here, and it can move up and down. I can't move left and right because those two pieces are touching. What I need to do is mate the top of this with the bottom of that. Because the computer doesn't know what I want it to do, I have to tell it. So constrain, mate, click there. Now I'm going to flip all this over, and I have to click there and apply. So now if I look at this entire assembly right here, and I try to move it, it's stuck in there. I can't move it up or down or left or right or anything. Now we're going to do the same thing here. So we already flushed it on the front. I want to constrain, mate, bottom of the groove. Watch for the green arrow. So I've got that groove. Now I'm going to flip it around, right click OK, and it joined together. Click on Apply. But I also see it moves up and down still. We don't want that. Constrain, mate, the top of this, flip it around to the bottom of that, and apply. So you have to mate it to the bottom of the groove, the top of the groove, and you have to flush it across the front. When you do that, and you grab on any of the parts, it won't come apart. If you do this incorrectly, it will come apart. Now let's say you have messages that pop up or something like that that say the part is over constrained or it's not going together. What you can do is open up all these parts and right click and delete them instead of deleting all the pieces out. So let's say, I'm really getting frustrated with this right here. It's not working or something. I can right click and delete if I want to, so I can edit things. Okay, so we've got that assembled. It's all good. Now I have to put in my pegs. So place, I'm going to put my round peg. Right click OK. I'm going to put my triangle peg. And I am going to put my square peg. Now just like before, I'm going to right click, free rotate it, and try to get it situated like it would go in real life. Right click OK. Right click, free rotate. Oh, escape key a couple times there. Free rotate. There we go. OK. Escape. And free rotate. There we go. And the escape key clears it on out. So let's go ahead and use our constraints so I can do this one. So constrain right here. Now I am going to choose this that goes through, okay? And then choose that goes through the arrow. Now watch this again so that everybody understands. Constrain, choose it so that the arrow goes through, click. Now choose this so that the arrow goes down. Click. Now you'll see it, notice that it was a round part. We want to put undirected. So click this last one, apply, and let me close that, and I will be able to go in and out with that. Now our triangle, we're going to use mate. Click on mate. We want to click the flat side of the triangle. Then I have to spin it around and sort of zoom it in, because let me get that so you can see a little bit better. That part has to mate against that side of the triangle. So click it right there and apply. Now I have to mate another side of the triangle as well, because you can see there's a gap in there. So mate, I'll click this side of the triangle, spin it around. See, it has it right there, and apply. Let me close that out so I can make sure the triangle goes up and down, which it does. And now it's time for the square. Constrain, mate. Now we're going to have to do mate 3 sides on the square. So I'm going to choose this side, spin the toy around, so I can choose that right there. That popped it in there. Spin this around. Mate. I can zoom in, I can choose this edge. Okay, click on apply. We have to do one last edge, however. Let me get rid of that. Okay, you think that it's going in. Let me double check that. I guess it worked because I did it 90 degrees there. So anyways, if you do this edge and the 90-degree edge, it will go in just fine. If you do opposing edges, like if you mate this side and this side, it'll still weeble wobble back and forth. So make sure that you mate the 90-degree side. So anyways, when you're done with this, the square will go up and down, but it won't move. The triangle will go up and down, but it won't move. The cylinder will go up and down, but it won't move. And all your pieces are stuck in there like they're assembled in real life. Okay, so I know that this is a complicated video, but believe me, you can get through all this. If you have any difficulty, like if it's, giving you a really hard time, feel free to just right-click and delete the piece out of there and then put it back on in. Okay, everybody, that is how to assemble the pegboard. We're not done yet, so don't think that you are getting off the hook and you can turn stuff in yet, because we still have some more assembly to do. Okay, stop this video, rewind, and replay as many times as you need in order to get the concept.